Alright, and welcome to the stream for Monday the 30th of March. Hello everyone. Hi Grid Monkey. Hi Nanian. Hi Derpy. How you all doing? Hey Creeper, how you doing? I am a time traveler. I get a whole 24 hours ahead of y'all. 17 hours for some people. Oh yeah, speaking of which, player, nightcast, whitelist, oh, no capital, whitelist on. There you go, bud. Oh, you're already there. Oh good, Atomic must have handled it or something. Oh, that's good. Thank you, Valen. I know you can't hear me here because you're doing your own thing, but... So the machine in this room is a Helvhammer, which should normally have an anvil under it, but it's kind of in pieces. And it would, if it had a windmill, which provides mechanical power, it would allow me to automatically turn iron blooms into iron ingots or any metal into plates. But it's in pieces because I have moved the... Oh, speaking of which, let's examine things I've done since last stream. I've made this a little cuter. For now, I don't know, a little shrine thing. I've made it so it's almost like whoever built this place has put a giant kapok tree as like the core of the stairwell. I've also made 4 of the bismuth lanterns that we were working on last episode. Up on the episode? You're not on YouTube anymore, Rosie. Last stream. Up on the log. One of them's in here. Put a door on this. Oh, it's there's not a lot there, Nanian, but yes, machinery is a thing. I mean, that is true. That's true, Grid. VODs are episodes, but I've used all the flax we've been growing to create more sails, so now this is a 5 long windmill, and it comes into the side of this big old natural stone monolith, which I've dug out a little thing for, and it's got a quern in it. Speaking of which, there is some flax flour in there. But if we go back in here and see that, oh, hang on. Heckin' sneezes. It's just got a simple gear. Axle. It's got 2 sets of axles, one vertical, one horizontal, and a angled gear. Thank you, Sirius. And thank you for the follow, Workshop Craft. I am going to put that solely in Blom's hands, Workshop, but thank you very much. Aw, thank you for the 100 biddies, Grid Monkey. And it should be working. I didn't see it move, but I know it has responded in the past. There it goes. Thank you so much for helping me hit that goal. We have hit the Stream Deck goal, which is great, because at the beginning of next month I'll be able to, or partway through next month, sorry, I'll be able to get a Stream Deck for the channel. It'll be awesome. A lot of the things I do manually at the moment can be automated by single button presses. So something else I did, although it's turned nighttime in the meantime, which is terrible, is I've made the way up better. I kind of don't want to show that off until it's daytime again. Well, we were just that close, Good Monkey. That's how close we were, and that's so awesome. So thank you so much. In the meme time, there's only meme time on this channel. There is no averages of 2 times. There's only hilarious time. Hilarious internet in-joke time. So we're going to have to start working on a second windmill, because while it's so nice to have the quern, and I actually do think the quern is more important, we need to be able to set up an automated hellhammer, and you can't, there's no like way to split force at the moment, so one windmill would be powering one object only. It does. Let me see if I can get, yeah, there we go. Where? Slight shine on it. I get right over the top, you can see what's actually going on there. It's got like a lens flare texture being projected onto it. Yeah, I thought that was a clever way to do that as well. What can we do now that it's nighttime? I have a whole bunch of K-pop, which is brilliant, actually, because we can start working on dressing up this room. Actually, need to put some stuff away first, though. Gonna have to do a lot of moving around as well, but that's okay. This, especially with the mod we have installed from CopyGirl, moving stuff around's not going to be much of an issue. Some K-pop logs on me hotbar. Hey, no, hey, yeah, okay, good. Hey, official digital misfit, thank you so much for the 100 biddies. Your support is always appreciated. Thank you so much. J-pop logs. Oh, dude. Good jokes, quality, 100%. I'm here for it. Okay, so that's good. Now, I think I numbered this out correctly, however, we're about to find out, honestly. Because it should be 1 log every 2 spaces, or 1 log pillar every 2 spaces. And these alcoves are going to act as basically the I suppose the stock separation, and then we're going to have a second level. Hey, Solitary Bird, your help is always appreciated. Thank you so much. Big or small, it all adds up. Thank you so much. Okay, so I did grok that out properly. That's good. And we just need to kind of do this side. Which, hello chests, you're in the way right now, but... Oh. Come on, server. Yeah. Pop those over there. Oh, the Shrine to the Hellhammer is finally getting decoration, yes. The Shrine to the Hellhammer is finally getting decoration. Isn't it beautiful? It is nighttime right now, so I can work on stuff on the inside, and I've finally kind of like sorted out what I'm doing here in terms of like, I suppose the amenities, so that I can survive here rather than having to run back and forth to the old jungle base. So now I can finally kind of like dig into making this place look good. The Hell Forge. I kind of actually want to do a proper, you know, forge room that will exist. This is, after all, the storage room. So, right now that's a kind of a big no. Right? And we definitely need to go for some more K-pop at some point, but that time is not now. Oh, did you see my tweet last night, Serious Creeper? Only the best time zones for you, Lord Eben. Yeah. Being able to produce that much food at once with meat is a feat indeed. That's how I knew I'm ready to dig into this whole decoration part of what I wanted to do up here. Now here's the thing. I maybe shouldn't have done that, right? Oh no, we're good, we're good. Okay, just. Otherwise, we were going to get to the other side and be like, wait, why is this off center? I really ought to turn that flour into bread. I'm going to move you, Iron Lantern. Yeah, and there's, as development progresses on the game, there's going to be more and more opportunities to make in-world stacks of things. Like, a lot of people, including myself, have been asking for stackable charcoal and coal, so that you can have coal piles laying around. And I know at the very least, I think Lazy Warlock was going to take a look at doing that in the interim, while the devs focus on other stuff. And we use Lazy Warlock tweaks, so that'll be great. But being how highly moddable the game is in the first place, like, the fact that you can just do that this early in development is wonderful. Okay, well that's the main pillars up. Since we have the main pillars up, I'm actually going to borrow you, and we're going to turn this flax into bread. Flax flour into bread, anyway. Move slightly out of the way, thank you. I have so much flax bread. Flax bread is actually terrible. It's the worst bread in the game, but to have so much of it, I am grateful. Okay. Yeah, they've set a technology ceiling, but they've got quite a ways to go before they hit it. They're going to try and get to Steam. Well, also, serious, they're probably going to rejig that a little bit later in development as well, so that it isn't more efficient to put logs and planks inside chests. But in the meantime, you know. Yes, it certainly is. But we like being aesthetic here, so we're gonna take that slight efficiency hit. I think it's actually a big efficiency hit in some circumstances, but that's okay. I think it's also just very human to be able to want to be able to put your like stuff in piles. It's very like validating visually. Also, I don't think this person has a oh my god, brain. I don't think this person has a Twitch account, but just in case she's watching, hi mum. Told my mum what my streaming hours, and she said she was going to drop in and say hi. So everyone say hi to Rax mum. Oh, Mom Rax is way better actually. I'm here for Mom Rax. Precious piles of gold. It's true. You can actually, well, you can already pile your gold. So, you know, priorities were in place when they got to this point in development. See, if I've got my bismuth ingot stacks, you bet your butt you can do gold stacks. Oh, thanks, Nanian. I do have to watch my potty mouth. And I do have one. At times, anyway. Oh, you can, Nanian. It's just a choice I've made. Let me explain after I've dealt with a thing that I need to deal with. Take these boards. I think I, in my haste, put my saw in here. I did. That's not what I want. That's not what I want at all. My precious K-Pock. And more firewood. Yeah, doors are less effective, but it's not by a huge amount. So, I could still put a door here, and what I'm eventually going to do in terms of this base is I'm going to have the long-term cellar and then I'm going to have the short-term pantry. So food that's ready to eat is going to be in the pantry, and that's going to have a door on it. But I'm also going to have a long-term cellar where I'm keeping things for a long time, which is going to be sealed up. Yeah, every time. Kool-Aid guy. What does the Kool-Aid guy even say? I went to do that joke and I was like, I don't actually remember what he says. Oh yeah, that's it. So much flax bread. So that's going to last 17 days just sitting in my own inventory. This is the kind of thing that I'd put in the pantry. I am flaxing with that bread, I am indeed. I actually think, Nanian, let's test this actually, because I do have admin powers. There's an iron door in the game, and I think the iron door is just as effective as having a big brick thing. So, oh, well that was a mistake. So, also destroying things with... will do. Okay, so with how we had it set up, with something with a shorter spoil time, 8.3 days on that turnip. But I think with an iron door, it'll be the same. No, it's longer. Iron door is OP. It's just you can't craft iron doors yet. Even though the door has holes. Sure. So, much like a lot of these things in the game so far, Nani, and I think it's just a case of, like, this is your upgrade path, you know? Like, you start out with your pantry with its normal door, and your long-term solution being to have it sealed up long-term, and then you make yourself an iron door and replace that, and then now your pantry can just last, like... You don't need your permanent storage because your pantry will last longer. I believe it's your cellar is exponentially worse the more entrances there are. So you'd kind of want your pantry and then you'd want your cellar, right? Rather than have the cellar hooked onto the pantry. The day yet? Getting there, slowly. Speaking of which though, I need to... Oh yeah! And put this bread away. I'm gonna put it in the rot bin. Speaking of the rot bin, I'm gonna take this rot up to the farm. That's going to last 136 days in here, both stacks. It's nice. Yeah, I think a lot of like the things where it seems like something's missing a little bit in Onion is like if that's your intuition, then you're probably right, you know? And it is a case of Soontian, which is fair enough. Right, yeah. I need some more fiber so I can make some new scaps. That's my big problem. I need a fiber, a whole bunch of papyrus planted somewhere. So we've left this fellow overnight, and the potassium has come back. I ran out of potassium. Well, I ran out of saltpeter from last stream. I do want to replant a whole bunch more flax because we're going to need yet another windmill, and I really want to make myself a gambeson. Oh, but you know, like, what I mean is the difference between what is and isn't done with a lot of, like, well, some early access games, you can look at a feature which is jank, what I like to call jank, or incomplete in such a way that, like, why is it even implemented at this point? Right, this is clearly broken, just take it out for now. Whereas in this case, it's like, well, it's still functional up until this point, and you can just work around its shortcomings in the meantime. This is why I need a scythe. I'm just weeding by hand. It's a lot faster than real weeding. Right. What can we plant in the rest of the space? Well, what do I want to plant, I think? To check what is going to spoil faster downstairs of the 3 vegetables that I have. Let's just say we did and don't and plant some onions and turnips. Right, maybe this whole time we've been weeding wrong, and all we actually needed to do was punch them. Thank you so much for the follow, Cookie Gaming Monster. Yep, if you let the farmland be fallow, then they will eventually grow weeds. Leaving, so as far as we can tell, because we actually haven't had dev confirmation, we've just kind of investigated as players, leaving it fallow does let the nutrients restore quicker than planting something of a different value. So with crop cycling, you would want to, like, when you've run out of potassium on one part of the field, you'd want to replace that with something that takes phosphor or nitrogen. And if you leave it fallow, then the potassium will restore faster than if you plant something that is nitrogen or phosphor consuming. Delicious water. Alright, Nanian, sleep tight. Okay, now that it's daytime, I can show y'all the thing. I see it on the way down, but it looks so much more impressive from a distance. This is how you get up here now. So I said a couple of streams ago I wanted to make it look like rickety scaffolding on the way up. It's a little more grand than that, but still works, I think. A little rainy. Be nice if it was clearer to show it off, but get an idea. Going up here. Yeah, I thought that was fun. So I did do a little bit of chiseling on it. It doesn't look rickety at all, I know. It looks very well, good and stable. That's the kind of feeling I wanted, Nanian, is to have that kind of like Tomb Raider-y vibe to it. OSHA approved primitive scaffolding. But minimal chiseling, so these have been chiseled so that they're half the width. They were just a block and a stairway upside down, but I've chiseled half of it away so that the mount looks a bit more proper. And this was a full block that this fence led into, and I've just chiseled that away so it looks more fancy. That's kind of like the only chiseling I've done, and otherwise these are top half slabs. Yeah, no, you can't pick up leaves at the moment, unfortunately. Alright, Nanian. It doesn't take an unreasonable amount of time to get to the top either. %, spoiled. Still good. It really should be an effect for if you're eating food that's spoiled. But like many things, I think that might be a problem for future me. %, of it is still okay. So where were we? I think I might want to go for some terra preta in a bit though. But for now, I think put the second floor in. Apparently if I do this, I'll not try to be vertical. Yeah, okay. That's nice. How far in do I want it to come? Probably like 3. Yeah. I mean, I had to test it, right? So, how can I be sneaky about getting up here? So it's easier for me to put in this floor. This is all pine, by the way, so I can't use that for what we're doing. I'm out of K-pop. Oh, here's some more slabs and some more planks. Good. And some more ladders, actually. Yoink. Hey, Atomic, how are you doing? Ah, that is not a feature of the game though, Nightcast. That's a mod I've got called VS HUD. It's the one doing the ghosts, but yes, it is a very helpful feature. Oops. Hang on. Didn't even think I could do that. I mean, of course I could do that, but I didn't think I could do that with the top slab setting. But I think that just means horizontal only, rather than top slab. 1, 3. I need some light up here. Game is OP, vertical slabs banned. Here, that'll help. Whoops. Alright, I didn't convert these to... There we go. That'll help. There will be more green lanterns. Oh, how there will be more green lanterns. Who's you? Did I come? Yeah, I did. Whoops. 3 from the wall, not 3 from the supports. Well, that's the nice thing about this game too, is that you can, you don't have to destroy a forest to get a lot of slabs. Thanks to the fact that you can just turn logs into wooden boards and use the wooden boards to make the blocks and slabs. Unlike Minecraft, where there is no intermediate step like that. I'm trying to say is get a lot more bang for your buck. Oh. Also convert these while I'm here. Meat Meat. I'm going very, very well, thank you. Just putting the second floor in our storage cave. Storage warehouse, more accurately, but it is more of a storage cave at the moment. Well, I'm not sure, Meat Meat. Is there anything new? Excuse me. Ow. Play. Oh, that's fine. Just convert him. Dang it. I was hoping to land on the Iron Lantern and that would be low enough for me not to take any damage. Maybe I should bring these out one more, actually. Right now. Reach up here well enough, and okay. I think from there, these will probably be temporary because I'll probably end up replacing them with chiseled stairs, but we'll use stairs the game gives us for now. Already incorrect. I don't want that. That's not what I want. That's what I want. Oh, there goes my axe. That's what I get for cutting down an entire giant kapok. I was impressed that the iron axe did survive the ordeal though. Okay, so for now, basic stairs will be the way up and down to the second level of the storehouse. So come in here and we've got stairs. I could actually do another set of stairs coming down this way. That'd be kind of neat. Oh, fell and crashed. But the storehouse does indeed need a lot more lighting. My vegetable is suffering. There we go. That'll help. Looking a lot more ominous in here now, though. Maybe we should, make another lantern. Don't like making plates manually, though. It's very, intensive. Guess we kind of have no choice. What? Here, you. Do two. Well, I'm not sure, Feral, but you can only heat 4 at a time. I know the 4 is the max. We're actually kind of breaking the rules here because bismuth ingots should be liquid around about 200 degrees. So these are going to stay hot and malleable for a long, long time, even though they should just be goo right now. Also, I do know about heavy hit. I just don't like using it. A bit random for my taste. I hear you, Drifter. I'll look at you in a second. Oh, you must be up there or something. It's the other reason why we need to get lighting in here ASAP. Yep, there we go. Battlesmithing. That's what we're doing right now. Battlesmithing. Heard another one fall down. Other end. Go on, Drifter. Right. That's one. You still hot? You are still well and truly hot. That is great. 1 and 2, and let's go. The other problem with using the hammer to do plates yourself is it uses an awful lot of durability from the hammer. Whereas a held hammer doesn't have durability, so... kind of a no-brainer. Because the Hellhammer, I've moved the windmill atomic up to the top of the to the farm because it's now powering a kern. Right. That wasn't so bad. I'm gonna take a couple of candles from my candle shrine here. And whatever I did with the clear quartz, which I think might be here. Yep. Two bismuth lanterns. So one should be fine to be like here. The other should be fine to be like here. You look better. Yeah, where are you? Okay, you're both in line. Right, that's the upper level. There's still some darkness back here though. But that'll stop drifters coming in from up there down. There's no way to merge or separate mechanical power at the moment, so you can only have one circuit. But you can, for example, power the health hammer from both sides, so you could have two windmills terminating at the health hammer and providing double the power to it. Oh, you split the power? So this is where the new windmill is. A lot bigger. It's powering this cone. Yes, there is uranium. It's also chrome and titanium and nickel. Not that you can do anything with these ores right now. Yeah, well, uranium was used in glazes, right? Back before we knew how silly an idea that was. But I mean, as humanity, we did the same thing with lead and mercury in terms of using it for applications that we shouldn't have because we didn't realize what damage we were doing to ourselves. How long has this game been out? Well, it's hard to say out because it's not out. It's in early access. Also, for how long has it been available to play? I'm not sure. See you, Misfit. Thank you so much for coming along. Yeah, well, what is it? Plastic? We've been using plastic all our lives for Tupperware and stuff, and now we're starting to find out that maybe the leachate from plastic hasn't been so good for us. Because we're finding plastic in our blood. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm still going to be using plastic. But wouldn't mind not using plastic where I can manage it. Like, for example, I've started using, if Mother Dearest is still there, thank you, Mum. She got me for my birthday a whole bunch of linen wraps, beeswax linen wraps, so that I can use that instead of sandwich wrap. I mean, glass jars are also infinitely more recyclable. Which is awfully nice. I've honestly, for a while, even before I knew about the whole, like, you know, plastic getting everywhere that we didn't think it was, I've kind of always wanted milkmen to come back. Because that'll give, like, all the male people that are losing their jobs again. You know, you bring out your glass milk bottles, your empty glass milk bottles, they take them, they give you fresh milk. Obviously there's a subscription or however that gets handled there. They're gonna make Axe head. Axe head. Oh, am I blind? Yes I am. Hey Vizier. Welcome back. How's quarantine treating you? Well, sure, Feral, but I never hold my breath for those things. They work, they work. And I've heard that they're working on that too, and there's been some successes and stuff with that, but I still think it wouldn't hurt if we change things up as a society a little bit. I'm definitely not one of those people that think that our ancestors had everything figured out. Heck, there's that meme that I really personally really like, which is has some cavemen sitting around and they're like, ah, our water is clean, our food is organic, our air is fresh, but we only live to 30, right? Like, modern society has introduced some very important changes. But then again, I think there's some stuff that we've just kind of ignored because it wasn't the new and flash thing that worked perfectly fine, if not better. Like, I am really a huge proponent of these beeswax linen wrap things. They're so cool. They work like twice as good as plastic wrap, and they're reusable, so... And they last like a year or two, even with constant use. So it's like, why did we start using plastic wrap when that was an option all along? Because it's also cheaper? It's a larger upfront cost. That is an absolute truth. But your overall cost is brought way the hell down. And that's what I mean by, like, newfangled things aren't always better. Oh, you made your own Kashka. That I wanted to make my own, but I was just dragging my feet, and the cost of plain linen here in New Zealand, like plain unbleached linen, was really, really, like, prohibitively expensive because of all the hipsters buying it out. So I never got to make my own. And I mean prohibitively expensive. Here's me saying that the cost is, you know, better, but not when hipsters are involved. Yeah, and it makes your house smell amazing, right? Like, they're just a joy to use in general. And you can repair them as well. It's not like you get to the end of that 1 year or 2 year life cycle of them, and unless they got like a hole in them or something, you can just re-wax them. So what they are, serious, they're a very simple invention. You take a linen sheet, you obviously hem the sides so it doesn't fray, then you get a big old pot of beeswax melted and you dip it in there, or you paint it on, and that's it. 2-step process. And what it does is because beeswax is slightly antibacterial in the first place, it acts as a really good, like, hygienic surface. Beeswax is also slightly malleable. Don't use paraffin wax because paraffin wax cracks. You definitely want to use a beeswax. It's malleable, so like whatever shape you put it in, it's going to stay in, which can actually be a problem with some cling wrap, if you ask me. Like, sometimes the cling wrap doesn't want to adhere to the surface you put it on. I've not had that problem with the beeswax linen. It doesn't crack, no. Because it's beeswax, and that's just a property of beeswax in particular. If you used paraffin wax, it would absolutely crack. Or plant wax, for that matter, which paraffin wax is, but... Oh, so it was... Oh, cool. That's awesome, Gashka. So not only is it malleable, it's a little bit sticky just in case. That would also add to the really nice smell, actually. it was definitely something the hipsters jumped on. Holy heck. Like, I watched a YouTube video about it from, like, a medieval historian. He was showing how, like, to make potage, which is just, like, any food cooked in a ceramic pot. And he was like, so one of his questions he was asked is, how does the medieval peoples, like, keep things for a long period of time, right? Because they didn't have fridges. And then he went into the whole thing where they smoked and salted, but also, like, they had these things, and then he showed the process of linen beeswax. Beeswax linen. And then, like, that's when I got interested in it. And then, like, a week later, I started seeing... I don't think he was the cause of it. I think there was already a buzz, right? But, like, a week later, I started seeing so many people talking about it. And then, like, a month on from there, I started, like, seeing sources of unbleached plain linen, like, the price of them skyrocket. It was like watching a car crash in motion. I actually don't recall what the YouTube guy's name was, to be honest. He was really cool though. Hang on. You do a search. Because I definitely recommend him to you. He seemed very, like, beeswax linen. No, because that's all hipsters. Medieval food preservation. It looks like he's just called Modern History TV.
Welcome to Modern History.
Shush. That guy. Yeah, Shadversity is more like, the, you know, manly arts. Combat and stuff. This guy covers everything. Hey Kiwi, how you doing? Yeah, I think I like the double stairway. Fills up the space a bit better, and then we're gonna have the stuff all around the outside, you know? Like, all of these alcoves are storage possibilities. Same with upstairs. No problem, Visair. But yeah, he's the guy that I watched to learn about the beeswax linen. Oh, you have rain? Dang it, Kiwi. I'm jealous. Think. Therefore I am. No. I think what I want to do now is I want to get some stuff out of my inventory. That's for certain. Go up there. This can go over here. I do need to fully reorganize what I already have in storage. so that there is actually some semblance of a system now that the alcoves are here. These. That, and I want to put the flax over here. I mean, these 4 chests could also go in the storeroom now, as well as this tool rack, etc., so that the main entry hall doesn't have tools and stuff in it. But what I want to do is I want to sort out my papyrus situation. So we're going to head down. I am going to ignore that papyrus because that's where I want to grow it. I'm gonna head out south, I think, where the village isn't. Nab some papyrus from there. Like this. So we can now pick up papyrus roots, which we couldn't a couple of versions ago. Can't be cooked though. Not quite as good as Cooper's reeds. Cannot be eaten. Well, Vintage Story will be here when you have time. Don't have to worry about it disappearing. The dev seems very intent at the moment, very motivated. I think all the hubbub around it lately has really helped. The Discord is flourishing. As for why I'm getting all this papyrus, well, I need to be able to keep my skeps up and running. Sometimes I just do not have enough reeds. Cattails, in this case, which is hilarious, because papyrus don't have cattails, but they serve the same purpose, so as the game is work in progress, papyrus drops cattails. I'd been kind of keeping an eye, well, not an eye, more like the corner of an eye out on it. Mostly because I follow Copygirl on Twitter for a long time, but yes, very recently it exploded. And I think folks like Valen really helped that. Yeah, feel free to join at any time, Vicia. You do need to be either subscribed to me on Twitch, or a Patreon to me on, well, Patreon, or either of those things to the Mischief. And you would be able to get on this particular server, so, because we are a community server. A combined community server, that is. You're both. Well, thank you so much. We'll go to 64 roots. So that'll be 1 stack. It does seem like something Marathi would do. Marathi does keep on the ball with new and upcoming stuff. Pretty impressive, actually. He was playing a kind of like Factorio type top-down game, but with robots at one point, and I was like, wow. Where'd you find this? I did. I finally got some sandpaper. My flatmate headed out to Bunnings, and I was just opportune enough to ask them to grab me a bit of sandpaper while they were there, and lo and behold, no more right-click issues anymore. Mindustry, that's the one. Thank you, Grid Monkey. Hi, Sci-Fi. Well, there's the entire tanning process, including lime water, so I could totally see paper making being a thing. And Valium, for that matter. Valium, sorry. Valium is a drug. Something something Slim Shady, Valium and Percocet. That's where I know those drug names from. Do we really want to clone more Valen? Really? Do we really? Oh, Kashka wouldn't mind. I think those might have been a oops, I've been found out shifty eyes. Is that why you're a necromancer, Kashka? Or would mind the most, that is true. That is awfully true. There we go. Alright, plenty of papyrus for the future. Nice and local. Locally sourced papyrus. Locally sourced organic papyrus. Locally sourced organic free-range papyrus. Locally sourced grass-fed organic free-range papyrus. Any more green marketing terms? Cruelty free, right. Locally sourced, grass-fed, organic, free-range, gluten-free, non-GMO, cruelty-free papyrus. Now with 100% more buzzwords. I think that's more like 900% more buzzwords, actually. Bushmeat is definitely not cruelty-free. Scapology. Dare say vegan bushmeat. Ooh, no, vegan papyrus. Well, you can't eat... No, we can add vegan, it doesn't matter. You can have vegan on things which aren't... Get rid of this long grass. You can have vegan on things which aren't meant for eating. I'm sure I've seen it. Like vegan glue is probably a thing, right? It's a tool progression to speed up harvesting materials. Yes. I'm using iron tools right now, which are the fastest at the moment in the game. The next tier, which is likely coming, is steel. Vegan soap. Yeah, I think I've seen vegan soap. No, what I saw was vegan shampoo. Which doesn't make any sense, because is all shampoo vegan? Vegan plushies. Oh, I know vegan glue is totally a thing, but is it marketed as vegan glue? Is wheat paste marketed as vegan glue? In which case then, yeah. Now, I have scaps. I have a slightly improved storeroom, which has more work to be done on it, but for now, looks great. Maybe we work on Something needs to be done about this. This from the outside is a little bit ho-hum. I'd like to probably start working on the blacksmith, but I don't necessarily know where to put it. I know that some options include just consider that this cellar is non-permanent, so it doesn't matter if it has to be moved. It could be in this wall as a new room. It could be up one of these stairs, you know, in either of these corners off a landing pad. This one too, and that one, and the next one, and the next one, all the way up. It could be on an entirely different tier of scaffolding, so it could be like on the next level down, for example. Smack into it here. There's a lot of options. Actually, you know what? I've been wanting to work on the front of this for a while, so let's pull up some inspiration if I can. I'm over on the other screen looking at Google Images. I am still here, I'm just thinking. There's a lot of roof styles, and it's just about picking which one I want to do, really. Buddhist temple probably would help a lot better. Because I wrote Tibetan temple, which quite frankly is a little bit ignorant to me. I think when I'm thinking of the roof that I'm wanting to kind of emulate on the archway that I'm standing in front of in game, I'm thinking of this kind. A monastery. Yeah. So this big kind of like oblongy square thing, I want to put one of those roofs on that. So there's going to be a bunch of chiseling. Yeah, exactly. That scaffolding is kind of inspired by stuff like that around the world. Except we're going to be starting this at night time. Okay, well, can't win them all. I have, however, in preparation, made a bunch of fire clay shingle blocks. And go grab some ladders and a chisel. Oh, hello boys. You must have been spawning from the back there. Where do you think you're going, huh? Exactly. Hello? Game? Here we go. I've noticed the drifters' inventories don't like to open when they're sitting on top of piles for some reason. Grab some ladders. I mean, you're not wrong. Just give him a good smack. Oh. Probably bring a lantern up with me. Might help. Let's cut you down. Actually, cross one. Sure, we'll just do a real ladder. You know what? Bring you out too. Hey, Tolls! Okay. So here's the Earth. Ah, you know, just like forget all your tools, that's fine. Let's turn the whole dang lot into chisel blocks, please. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. For the sake of creativity, I'm going to do that. I think you need to. Ida. Those, so we'll throw those away. Right. So I don't want to straighten up this line here. Turns out I might actually need to put blocks in here. Oop. I don't want. the last of my shingles. Hiya, Raiden. Hiya, Knightley. I am well indeed. That was good, actually. Stay there. It's these that need to go. Is that even right? No, it's not. Sorry about the silence, folks. It's real concentration hours. Yeah, I wonder why that happens. Oh. Solve that on the other side like that. It's starting to look good. Some out. Oh good, synthwave is always very relaxing. Or hype, depends on which kind of synthwave. But one with a nice steady pace. I'm doing quite well, thank you, Axel. The lighting normals aren't quite there in the game, but that does help just a little bit. Up the resolution a bit here, by 2. Make those curves a little more pronounced. Hey, Zarov. Yeah, I'm, because it's nighttime, I decided to fly around because it make this whole process a lot easier. Doing something I shouldn't because, the other players on the server don't have access to this. But, yes. Being naughty. Only be using it for OP purposes, really. And I want my temple to look good. Yeah, nothing like that serious. Not at all. I do need a raw XP hacks. I do. I am in creative mode, but what's interesting about creative mode is your tools still take durability. So, I am actually using up my chisel by doing this. There is a tiny, tiny little piece of fairness in there. Just the inkling of fairness. Oh, that looks good. You back. Now that's a curve. Now, and to do that type. more aggression in here. A little bit more. This all the way back. Means you'll probably need to be in this direction. Hey. There should be some community service to join. What version of the game are you using? Because I know that there was a version between 12.11 and 12.13 which broke the community server finder. Okay. You are gonna be a weird black void. That's unfair. Because I have no block underneath that. I think that might be what it is. That is looking great though. If I do say so myself. Thank you so much for the follow, Umbria. And with that, folks, it is actually 1 PM. So it is lunchtime for me. I need to take a break and feed myself, refuel. But then we will come back and we will continue working on this. I think, believe it or not, I want to take you off the top here. That should just be a little bit lower. Less of a spike and more of a curve. Anywho, yeah. So, in the meantime though, let's find somebody for you to raid. Keep you occupied until I get back. You know what? Direwolf's on. So let's raid Direwolf, shall we? Raid Direwolf. Ready? If you have them, put in your Rorax plays emotes. Show him that we are now powerful. And I love your faces, and I'll see you in an hour.